Greetings, everyone. As requested, I have compiled all of your questions into a list, and now I'm ready to give my answers. But in order to make this more of a personal experience, I thought maybe I should be answering these a little more directly. So let's see how well this works. Cry of Pain asks, I'm curious if the doctor in your title means you have an actual doctorate, or is it just a name? Well, I don't actually have a doctorate, and I'm not planning on getting one. I've only taken one class of psychology in college, and that's about it. Anything else that I know about the subject is really just my own thoughts and wisdom. HorseApple007 asks, what are some of your favorite fan projects? Well, some of my personal favorites are Ponies the Anthology 2, The Garden PMV/animation, and My Little Dashie by Flim Flam Philosophy. Those are just a lot of fun to enjoy every now and again. ASDF30111 asks, do you think Twilight should be immortal or not? Personally, no. I don't like the idea of her living in eternity the way she is right now. Katrina Tomeldon asks, what other TV shows do you like besides MLP? Are you part of any other fandoms? As of right now, these video projects are taking up the bulk of my free time, so I'm really not watching any other TV shows at the moment and not really taking part in any other fandoms. Bowser is the best asks, what are you most anticipating in Season 4? I would like to see Luna's backstory. Hands down, I think that has the most potential for an exciting episode series. Claire White asks, how do you feel about romance in My Little Pony, like Fluttershy and Big Mac? I suppose if the writers had decided to put that into MLP, then I really wouldn't be against it. Just as long as the writers are actually making the relationships very believable, then I suppose it could work. CodyFan15 asks, what is your favorite episode of MLP? I don't think that's quite a fair question, because I like a lot of different episodes for many different reasons. Some that I enjoy for the humor, others I enjoy for the character interactions, and even some just for the moral message alone. There's a lot of different reasons for enjoying a lot of episodes, so it's really hard just to pick one. Sonic Sparks 112 asks, are you a Sonic fan? If so, what is your favorite Sonic game? Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the original Genesis. Hands down, I believe that was the most fun I ever had playing a Sonic game. Extreme YouTubester asks, who is your favorite princess? For now, I'd say Twilight Sparkle. However, if the writers do a lot more with Princess Luna and we get some really good backstory, then I suppose that could change, but we'll have to see. Critters Rule 247 asks, at what point did the show really appeal to you, or which episode made you think that there was really something to this show? I suppose what made the show appealing to me in the first place was the massive amount of fan content that kept sprawling all over YouTube. There was just a lot of really fun stuff and even a lot of really creative stuff, and I just had to see where it all was coming from. But as far as an episode goes, I'd say that watching Return of Harmony really made me think that there was a lot more to this show than meets the eye. Wesley Atkinson asks, have you made the connection between Princess Kate and Princess Cadence? The thought really hadn't occurred to me, but I suppose it is possible. Wesley asks another question about whether I believe the world would be a better place if people took the lessons from MLP to heart. I think there are a lot of really good lessons in MLP, for children and for adults. I myself have taken a lot of really good inspiration from the show, and I think a lot of other people can too. So yeah, I think MLP is being a good influence. Truth Hope Love is wondering, is there anything else you really dislike? I'd have to say ignorance. I want to promote some better understanding between people, but that means that people really need to take the time to understand. Blocky Trilobite has a couple of questions. How do I come up with my theories, and what do I think the next Discord episode will be about? I have the kind of mind that just refuses to shut off. I'm always trying to figure out how things could work and some underlying meanings behind them. As for the next Discord episode, I may have a few ideas on what I think could happen, but I suppose I could save that for a different video. Hawksnacks asks, have you ever thought of writing a fanfic, and how tall is your OC? I may come up with some interesting ideas, but I still don't think of myself as a writer. I honestly would like to put the writing in the hands of others. As for my OC, I think he's around Spike's height, compared to the ponies at least. Blocky Trilobite asks another question about whether I think there will be a Chrysalis or Gilda redemption. I think there is potential with these two characters, and even a redemption story could work, provided it doesn't feel forced.
God Cries for Tragedy asks, can I do a collab with you?
I do enjoy doing collab projects with other people, but I am looking for others who are just as passionate and dedicated about the work as I am. So if you have an intriguing idea, let me know, and maybe we can work something out.
Red Tootle asks, what is your least favorite episode of the show?
I do think that there are some episodes that could use some better writing, but I actually have already talked about this on a podcast with Brony, and he'll be releasing it later on.
Jonathan Mueller wants to know, what inspired you to make your OC a mouse?
He's actually a wolf, not a mouse. I know that the big ears are kinda like a mouse, but that's not supposed to be a mouse.
Sewardley asks, have you seen or heard of the Hub's Littlest Pet Shop? Why do you think so many bronies despise it and refuse to watch a single episode despite how they were open-minded enough to give MLP FIM a chance?
I myself have never seen The Littlest Pet Shop, and I really haven't seen any fan works dedicated to it, so I suppose that's the reason I haven't given it a chance, but maybe that's the reason that other bronies haven't given it a chance too.
Alec-Bama1 wants to know, who's your favorite of the main 6?
My 3 favorites are Applejack, Fluttershy, and Twilight, but if I had to pick one, then I suppose I would go with Fluttershy.
Sunrise in the Future has quite a few questions. What do you think of the recent decisions made by Hasbro?
I wasn't too keen on the idea of them sending the main 6 to high school for Equestria girls, and I honestly think they were shooting themselves in the foot with that cease and desist order on Fighting is Magic, but I can understand why they're doing it. And I realize that they're going to continue to do those kinds of things. I wish it wasn't so, but that's just the way it's going to be.
Would I like to live in the MLP universe?
I would like to visit Equestria, but I don't think I would want to live there. Although I would like to make our world a better place by following some of the examples that we see in Equestria.
What do I believe is the greatest issue facing the brony community?
Helping the world to understand why we do the things that we do.
What do I think of Cloppers?
Something that I really wish wasn't part of the fandom. I honestly think that it's a great hindrance in helping the world to understand us.
Where do I think the brony community is headed?
The sky's the limit. I honestly don't know where we're headed, but I know that our potential is immense.
The Shipping Pony wants to know, what is the most ridiculous situation you can picture the main 6 in?
Having the main 6 be dropped into the middle of a massive brony convention, and then let the ridiculousness ensue.
Red Cord Pony asks, who would you say is a character you relate to most in the show?
I relate to Applejack, Fluttershy, and Twilight, but I honestly think that I would relate to Fluttershy the most.
Clayton Rios has a few questions for me. What is your opinion on the Cutie Mark Crusaders?
I do enjoy watching CMC episodes, but in the future I'm hoping that they'll have a little more variety to their adventures rather than just finding their cutie marks.
What do you think of the Valley Girl stereotype in Friendship is Magic or other forms of media?
As long as they're not a main character in a show, then I don't mind them all that much. If they are a main character, then I really do have trouble getting interested in their character.
Who is your least favorite member of the main 6 and why?
I wouldn't say that I have a least favorite member of the main 6 because I really do enjoy all the main 6. They all have their interesting quirks. But if I had to say the character that I relate to the least, then I would probably say Rainbow Dash.
Well, that's it for today. I did enjoy going through your questions, and I will certainly be going through the rest of the list at a later time. Stay tuned to see whether your questions will get answered. I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.